Hello. Hopefully everyone can hear me fine. Um, Today we are going to get started on the actual Linux distribution itself. Last time we finished off the planning, I think I said that I was going to link the repo and I forgot to, but this is our final planning. This is it. So the plan has slightly changed. We were going to compile the kernel originally, but I think it will be better if instead of compiling the kernel, we just use ArchISO instead. Partially because compiling the kernel will take quite a lot of resources, but also because we're not going to change the kernel, or at least we're not going to change the kernel yet. And if we want to have a working system first, then we should go with ArchISO, which of course makes an Arch-based distribution. I did install ArchISO. There you go. ArchISO is installed. But this is the directory that we will be using for all of the work on the distro itself. We have this ISO directory. We need a work directory. And this is kind of going off what's in here. And we're going to need to cp-r /user/share/archiso /profile /relang configs. We now have a directory called ArchLive. This is everything. This is our Bootstrap packages. So this is what we'll edit to add in our default packages. pacman.conf, profile def. This is just defining the profile. It's kind of basic. It's not too complex, at least. We should be able to handle it. Syslinux, grub, EFI. These are our entries, our EFI entries. So we're going to add the default packages today. That's what we're going to be doing. That's the basis of today. Other than that, we should be looking at doing some basic customization of the system. Yeah, changing its name and stuff like that. Hello, SK Plays. No, I did not forget you. You just haven't popped in for a while. But hello again. We'll start with... I don't know what to start with, but we'll start with the pacman.conf. Now we need to enable multilib. multilib is kind of important because the other one we want to add is the the other one that I want to add is the chaotic AUR. But I think that we're going to have to add that as kind of an install thing. I started programming back in 2020, kind of middle of 2020. Just because I was interested in how get into it, and I found Godot, and that's what I started using, and that's kind of where I started to learn programming. Oh, the cursor animations. It's just on Kitty, the Kitty setting. It is this one. Where is it? Cursor trial. You just set cursor trial to 1 and you get this lovely animation on Kitty. I think that Kitty might be the only terminal that does that, but I really like it. I also moved away from using power level 10k, which is what I used to use for my shell theming, but I'm now using Oh My Posh instead. So we're going to go through all of this, and we will go through line by line basically, and set up a basic customized system. These are all of the packages that are installed by default. Do we want Vim installed in the live media? Do we want Vim installed or do we want NeoVim? I think Vim would be better. Yeah, Vim would be better. We want Bat, I think. And then again, it's not that important. We do have Refined installed by default. So we've got sudo on head, sudo, reflector, refined. You got the NTFS stuff on here. This is why, like these are all only in the live ISO, and then it installs what it needs in, then it installs what it needs in, the actual OS itself, and you add the rest. Which is why loads of people will be on the support subreddits and say, oh, it worked in the live ISO and it doesn't work here. Because the live ISO has pretty much everything that you would need. It doesn't have NVIDIA stuff, for kind of obvious reasons, but it has so much stuff in here. For example, the Broadcom WL drivers, I'm pretty sure those are removed on a default install, on a basic install. This doesn't exist and you have to install it yourself. Like, if you don't use Bcachefs, then you won't have the Bcachefs tools. But you've got rescue tools on here as well, Clonezilla, DD rescue, that kind of thing. And this all exists on the live ISO. See, like VirtualBox guest utils and the QEMU guest agent, all of it's just there. And then you explicitly install what you need to. We could have calamaris in here, which we'll probably do because we're not making our own install software. We are going to remove Arch install. Actually, we're going to keep Arch install for now because I'm currently creating some documentation and I don't have any install script yet. We'll also have a look at how Arch install works. And almost mirror it a little bit, but make it maybe a little bit better for a newer user who maybe doesn't know about Pacman. Because I feel like the problem with Arch install is users don't get to learn about Pacman. Gpart, I would assume yes, it's the same as gparted. It's a front end. Gparted is a front end to Gpart then. A partition magic clone, front end to GNU parted, which is this. Or maybe it's not. Yeah, it's required by gparted. Gpart is a GUI and Gpart is a CLI or a TUI. So similar. One's a back end, one's a front end. But obviously, you're not going to have graphical tools in here. Or you might have some graphic stuff in here if you have a GUI by default. For example, if we had calamaris in here, you'd also have a GUI. But you don't have any GUI browsers or anything, or any terminals. You've got Lynx, which is a text-based terminal. Not text-based terminal, a text-based browser. But that's the only browser on here. No Browse or anything. We'll keep a lot of this around. Here is our root FS. And there's quite a lot of stuff. Now, I remember that there is a Skell directory that you can add. So AI root FS directory is used as the starting point for the root directory. All its contents will be copied over to the working directory before packages are installed. Place any custom files and or directories in the desired location under AI root FS. For example, if you have a set of IP table scripts on your current system you want to be used on your live image, copy them over as such. Similarly, some care is required for special configuration files that reside somewhere down the hierarchy. Missing parts of the file of the directory structure can be simply created with make there. To add a file to The install user's home directory, place it in ArchLive AI root fs/root. To add a file to all other users' home directories, place it in Scale under etc. So if we wanted like a basic shell config, we could put it in etc under Scale AI root fs/etc/scale, which I assume means skeleton. We could have an Xorg system only. An Xorg only system wouldn't work because we're not compiling the kernel ourselves. We're not building everything from source. So the root uses Z shell. I think this is based on my EndeavourOS install. But it removes my user. I think that this is the start message that shows up when you boot into the TTY. Yeah. So we can change this. Locale. Normal stuff. Hostname, ArchISO, systemd. Okay, so it's kind of just regular stuff. So if I want to copy my shell config over, then I would use /etc/scale, so it goes into all users' home directory. But we could do /etc/scale/.config, I guess. Adding repositories. To add a repository that can be used in the live environment, create a suitably modified pacman.conf and place it in archlive/airootfs/etc/. If the repository also uses a key, place the key in archlive/airootfs/user/share/pacman/keyrings. The key file name must end with .gpg. Additionally, the key must be trusted. This can be accomplished by creating a GPG exported trust file in the same directory. The file must end with -trusted. The first field is the key fingerprint, and the second is trusted. You can reference /user/share/pacman/keyring/arch linux-trusted for an example. So this is an example for ArchZFS. If we wanted the chaotic AUR, then we could do that. Although both ArchISO's included profiles only have Linux, not LTS or Zen or Catchy, ISOs can be made to include other or even multiple kernels. So we can have an LTS kernel if we wanted to. Edit the packages.x8664 to include kernel package names. Make ArchISO runs. It will include all workdir / AI rootfs / boot / VM Linux -star and workdir / boot / initramfs -star.image. So we don't actually we don't need this. This is not the work directory. We can add a build directory, which will have our ISOs in it. Bootloader, UEFI secure boot. You must use the signed bootloader. You can follow the instructions. Hopefully Ethernet is a little easier to configure than Wi-Fi from minimal default packages. Working through that with Deb at the moment. I believe that Ethernet is easier. ETH0 should be set up by default on Network Manager and IWD. And I'm pretty sure it should just work. But I haven't tried it. The only time that I've tried fake Ethernet is through VMs, which do work out of the box. We can add a login manager. We can set an automatic login, users and passwords, key maps, locales, build the ISO. I think it was under tips and tricks that I wanted to have a look at, or using the ISO, build the ISO, prepare. There was a section on changing the distribution name. Start by copying the /etc/ os release into etc/ folder in the rootfs. Then edit the file accordingly. You can also change the name inside of grub and syslinux. So we need to go into AI rootfs /etc. And then that should be under etc and os release. There we go. So we can start changing stuff now. Songbird OS. This is now ours. ID like Arch. ID. Songbird OS. The pretty name is Songbird OS. Double.distro. DDD. x8664. I think we'll only build for x86-64 targets. We're not messing with ARM at all. I feel like that's more pain than it's worth. Build ID rolling. It's the only build ID. We need a bug report place. We need a logo. Where's that logo coming from? There's no EndeavourOS thing there. Or is it just called... No, it is called EndeavourOS. Hello, Hammy. Hello, Cappy Kane. I wonder where they're getting the image from. The icon. Because that's what it said, right? The logo. Yeah. I don't know where they're getting this from. Support URL, documentation URL, home URL, anti-color. I feel like it should be under /Etsy somewhere. And that is a lot of stuff. We have Skell in there. We might copy over the Skell directory actually. Anyway. I don't know where that EndeavourOS file could be, that logo. If someone knows, that would be great. Yeah, I don't know where it could be. Let's have a look at /Etsy/Skell. It's got nothing. Perfect. There's nothing in /Etsy/Skell. Yeah, I don't know where they're getting EndeavourOS from. This might actually be built in somewhere. This is bug report URL, some regular stuff. Where is that file? I think we should be using there's a built-in install guide. I do remember hearing about that, but I actually forgot about it. Yeah. Apparently there's a built-in install guide for Arch Linux. That's why there's links included. That's why links is included. Because it actually takes you to the install guide using links. That's cool. In packages, where's Bash? Bash isn't here. There's no Bash. Why is there no Bash? Is Bash part of Core Utils? Core Utils. Is it included as a base package without you having to install it? Potentially. Because I don't see Core Utils here either. And Core Utils includes stuff like LS. Yeah. I think that's what's happening. Because we only... What's the story behind the naming? I think I was going for a walk. And I was trying to think of ideas for what I was going to try and stream. And I was walking, and there was loads of birds singing. And that's an awful origin story, but it was a while ago, but I'm pretty sure that's right. It's it's a pretty sad origin story, but that's how it came about. There was bird singing, so songbird. And then I started looking at actual songbirds, and then I found the pink robin, and I thought it looked perfect for a logo. It's actually not there. It's in desktop projects, Songbird OS. Designs. Under logo? I can't remember. We can go searching for it. Designs. Oh, it's actually called this logo. Yeah, this one. Using SwayFX, by the way. This isn't Neri. Neri was used last week. And Neri is kind of my main window manager for this year, but right now I'm using SwayFX, and I'll probably use SwayFX for streaming. It's just slightly less CPU and RAM intense. I think on idle, on first boot on idle, the system sits at 35 degrees, which is really good for a laptop. I think, we don't really need to change anything else in here. We just needed to include multi-lib. I don't have that kind of story. Going on a walk is a rare thing for me. It's nice. Going on a walk from time to time is nice. So we need to include some of these core packages, which are actually already included. So the other one is this one, which I think has some more packages in it. This one. We only require MicroVim, NeoVim, or Emacs. We should replace, because I'm pretty sure Micro is in the main repo. So I think we should replace Nano with Micro. Micro is far superior. Yay is not in the main repo. We need to include a file manager, I think. Oh. It's not super important. You can get around with CD and LS. Hmm. Ah, so we are having technical issues, definitely. Are we back again? Because I've definitely had some technical issues here. Yeah, things went really wrong for a second. Oh dear. Okay, we're back, I think. We have oh, the Wi-Fi is not doing well. I don't know why. We are dropping a lot of frames, which is obviously not a good thing. Um, hmm. Okay, I think we're fine. Or at least we're fine for now. Okay, we're good. I think we're fine. I think everything's going okay again. I think the stream is back up. We're not dropping any more frames. This is good. I think we're stable again. Um, it might have started a new stream actually, which wouldn't be good. Um, nope, it says we're still live. Okay, I think we're fine. We're all good. Yeah, it is just showing be right back. I'm just trying to figure stuff out. Right. We are back now. I think we're all good. Everything's fine again. I think we've recovered the stream. It was my network dropping out a bunch, which wasn't good. We're fine. Things are back to normal, hopefully. Yeah, we've dropped 35% of frames, which is definitely bad. Something went wrong, but I don't know what. Stuff was getting uploaded according to BTOP, but it was just registering as 0 kilobits per second on OBS. It might be the WebSocket server. Just a guess. Could be the WebSocket server. But I'm not entirely sure. Wasn't there a browser called Browse? I thought there was a browser called Browse. Or Browse. There is. Is it on the AUR? Here it is. It's on the AUR. Rendering to TTY and browsers. It kind of looks good. We lost a lot of people to that. We should try Browse. Or Browse. I don't know how to say it properly. Does the Wikipedia article have anything? No. It does not say anything. Oh, it's a modern replacement for links. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it's on the AUR. So it's probably on the chaotic AUR. Unless it's not because it has a bin package. Yeah, it's got a bin package, so it doesn't need it. Or there's not enough interest. I think things are going wrong in YouTube Studio. Because it still says be right back. And now it's telling me to connect my streaming software. And now it says that we have no concurrent viewers in one place, and it says we have 3 on the other. That's definitely not confusing at all. Hopefully there won't be issues next stream. Okay. Okay, yeah, no. It's I think it's synced. It's in my analytics tab on the live studio page. It says 0 concurrent viewers, but in the info page it says 2 right now. I'm gonna trust the info page because I know that at least one person is watching. Okay. Awesome. I think the stream is back up. Things are just a little bit buggy. If we do have any major issues, please tell me. Because I had my network drop out earlier. Which wasn't good. But I think it's just a little unstable today. Or specifically right now. Where were we? Selecting packages. Packages from Multilib. Adding files to the image, which is what we were looking at. Adding repositories, kernel, bootloader, UEFI secure boot. Can we select which bootloader that we use? systemd units, users and passwords. To create a user which will be available in the live environment, you must manually edit the passwd, shadow, group, and gshadow. They must contain the root user and group. For example, to add a username to Archie, add them to passwd, and the user to the shadow file. If you want to define a password for the user, generate a password hash with OpenSSL password passwd-g and add it to the file. Otherwise, you may keep the password field empty. Add the user to group. Create the appropriate gshadow. Make sure shadow and gshadow have the correct permissions. You have key maps, locales, all the stuff we looked at before. Arch is actually a really extensive distro by default. Surprisingly extensive. Lots of tools in here are tools that I would think that maybe aren't in there. But I think this is also specifically my my packages .x8664, which might be based on was probably based on the EndeavourOS one, which is what I have installed. This is the profile name. So we want to change this to Songbird OS. We want to change this to Songbird OS. This is all fine. Publisher, it will be me. https://github yes, this is all fine. ISO version, installer, boot modes, Arch, yep. How did I come up with the name Double Dot Studios? I don't remember. It used to be Double Dot Games because it was game development, and then I kind of started expanding and doing less game development, so it kind of just became more of a software development channel. So I just renamed it to Studios instead of Games. That was it. It's not a very interesting story. I think I just thought of the name and liked it. Now I want to edit the grub config. This is the grub.cfg. it'll be in user local share. Nope. We actually have some sound stuff in here. Sounds for the thing there. Grub. Or bootloader. Bootloader. We also need to change the grub entries. Which are in somewhere. Menu entry. Songbird OS. I'm definitely not a professional game developer. No. It was kind of just for fun, just to see how things worked. We want to be down here. Arch Linux install medium with speak screen reader. This is the one that we want to change. Songbird OS. I don't know if I'm doing this right. This could be ruining the grub config. Songbird OS install. It's good to be inclusive, but we're not going to be. So we want a TTY version, and we want or actually we can just distribute the TTY version, and then you can start a session if you want to. I think it's better if we include a TTY install. Songbird OS TTY install. Arch ISO platform. Hotkey S. Class Arch, class GNU. We don't want any hotkey for it. We want it to be basically the same as the first one. And the same in RD. -ID. We don't need that bit. We're probably absolutely ruining this. Songbird OS TTY. It doesn't really matter if we ruin this. We can just copy this file back over if we need to. Arch ISO platform, class Arch, class GNU Linux, class GNU, class OS. We're not going to include any memtest stuff. Yeah, we don't need we don't need memtest stuff. PC -A-F. Oh, we will keep this around then. Yeah, we'll keep it around. Shell x64.efi fw setup. Some people are quiet. Lots of people are quiet. I think we lost a lot of people when there were technical issues. When we had those that lovely cutout. I think we lost a few people. How did I get to learn all these stuff? Experimenting. Just experimenting. Endlessly and relentlessly. If you just... Yeah. Just experiment. Look around. Just explore. If you want to get into the software development, and Linux and all that kind of stuff, just search around. Look at DistroWatch, Ignore MX Linux. That's a joke. Is not the most popular. But yeah, just explore. Don't be afraid to break stuff either, because you will. I personally haven't broken my system, but I'm lucky. This is all definitely broken, by the way. None of this is going to work. We're definitely missing stuff as well. Changing automatic login. Name. Then edit the file accordingly. You can also change the name inside of Grub and SysLinux. Well, I've been changing it inside of Grub. This is the menu entry. This is the Linux. This is the init. It's the image. Okay, I need to do more research. I think I am going to cut this stream short. We've not done much. And I don't think we're going to get done much. I need to do a bit more research before we're kind of ready to do any more. Before I break any more. Because I'll probably just copy and repaste the grub files. Yeah. So, we're really not going to get anything done. Or we're not going to get any more done. So, I am going to finish here. It has definitely been there's definitely been some issues with the stream, but it wasn't a massive problem. So, and of course our stream is perfectly healthy now. Yeah, I'm gonna stop here. I'm not going to push any of this to GitHub because we might just hard reset and start again. We've played around a little bit. It's definitely broken. I need to do more research. I should have done more research, and I didn't. And that was a mistake. But thank you all for coming. At least we've hopefully learned something. We will definitely do better next time. Hopefully the stream won't cut out next time. And everything will be fine. But thank you all for coming. And I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next week for hopefully a more successful stream.